All right, let's talk about how great ideas actually happen. Not the finished, shiny version, but the real, messy, and totally exciting process of taking a whole lot of potential and turning it into something real.
It all kicks off with this question. I mean, really think about it. What happens when you get a room full of brilliant, passionate people together and just ask them to build something totally new? Well, that's exactly the story we're diving into today.
At the heart of it all, these 24 people. They're the researchers, the teachers, the students. They're the engine behind a new project called the Center for Pharmaceutical Data Science Education, or CPDSE for short. And every single one of them brought their own unique spark to the table.
Now here's the key thing you gotta understand. CPDSE wasn't some done deal. It was and is very much a project in formation. So when these 24 minds got together for a retreat, they weren't there to just follow a plan. They were there to write the plan, to figure out what this whole experiment could and should be.
So the day starts with this really cool exercise in group reflection. Imagine a room where the walls are just covered in these huge posters, each one packed with the group's collective thoughts. This wasn't just brainstorming, it was about getting all the raw, honest truth out there for everyone to see. Real wisdom on the walls.
And what did they find when they stood back and looked at it all? Well, some clear strengths for sure. Everyone loved the flat structure, no rigid hierarchy. They loved the community vibe, and this feeling that yes, things were finally getting started. But they were also brutally honest about the weaknesses. A real lack of clarity on roles, a feeling of being fragmented, and of course, the age-old problem of just not enough time.
But, just pointing out what's wrong is easy. The magic is turning those weaknesses into a roadmap. And that's exactly what they did. Clear opportunities started to surface. They knew they needed more structure in how they engaged with each other. They needed to bring more people into the fold, like students and industry partners. And they had to get better at communicating so nobody felt left out.
And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? This isn't just about spreadsheets and deadlines. It's about people. You can feel this deep desire for more than just showing up. They wanted real, true involvement, a dependable partnership, and feedback that actually helps everyone grow together. Okay, so with that solid foundation of honest self-assessment from the morning, the afternoon shifted gears completely. It became this incredible journey through dialogue, using a really unique format designed to make ideas collide and build on each other in the moment.
They got playful with it, inspired by a Danish TV show. They called it a live group harvesting session. A facilitator would interview small groups, but here's the twist. You couldn't repeat an idea that another group had already shared. This forced everyone to dig deeper, to find really unique points of common ground. And the whole thing was captured and analyzed in real time. Super cool.
And out of this amazing, dynamic process, this beautiful tapestry of shared ideas started to take shape. A huge one was this laser focus on students and their future employers. There was also this really strong pull towards creating community-building traditions, and a big push for just being more efficient and integrated across all the different departments. I absolutely love this quote, because it proves that building something great isn't just about strategy, right? It's about culture. This idea of simple, fun rituals, like a Friday breakfast or some quick group exercises. It shows they understood that shared moments and traditions are what actually forge a community. As the day went on, all these different threads, the honest analysis, the dynamic conversations, the shared feelings, they all started pointing towards one single powerful metaphor. This was it. This was the big aha moment that gave them a whole new language for what they were experiencing.
The metaphor comes straight out of chemistry, a supersaturated solution. It's a liquid that's holding way more dissolved stuff than it normally could. It's unstable. It's just brimming with potential, waiting for one tiny trigger, a little seed crystal, to set off this rapid, dramatic transformation.
And there it is. One of the participants, a crystallographer, threw this out there, and you can just imagine the light bulbs going off around the room. It just clicked for everyone. That was CPDSE, a group packed with energy, ideas, and talent, but not yet set in stone. They were a supersaturated solution, just waiting for a spark.
So, you might be thinking, is that a bad thing? To be so full of potential but without a solid shape? Is all that uncertainty a problem?
Nope. The group's answer was loud and clear. It wasn't a problem. It was the challenge. And that, right there, is a game-changing distinction. A problem stops you. A challenge invites you to step up. It's an exciting opportunity to create something truly special.
So armed with this powerful new self-awareness, this new metaphor, the group looked to the future. The question was no longer, what are we, but how do we start to crystallize?
And they mapped it out. They knew exactly what they needed. First, find that seed crystal, that one catalytic project to kick everything off. Second, add just enough structure to guide the growth, not stifle it. Third, keep pouring energy into the community that fuels it all. And finally, and most importantly, it was time to move from talk to action.
And this really brings us to their core strategic mission now. It's a true balancing act. How do you keep all the freedom and creativity of that flat structure that everyone loves, while adding the coordination and clarity you need to make sure things actually get done? That's the puzzle they have to solve.
You can just feel the energy in this final exchange, can't you? There is zero hesitation. After this intense day of digging deep, the commitment is stronger than ever. They see the challenge, they embrace it, and they are absolutely ready to tackle what's next. They're hungry for action.
And that's what this story leaves us with. It's all about finding that one seed crystal that can turn all that incredible potential into reality. So it makes you think, right? In your own work, your own teams, your own goals. What's your supersaturated solution? And what's the one tiny seed crystal you could introduce to spark your next big breakthrough?